What if I told you that the only thing standing between you and the life you want is a single belief? The belief that you are capable. Not talent, not luck, not connections, just belief. And here's the good news: that belief can be installed, practiced, and strengthened like a muscle. You don't need a personality transplant. You don't need to wait for a miracle. You just need a system. And this script is that system. Read it, apply it, watch yourself transform. Let's start with a hard truth. Nobody is coming to save you. Your parents won't magically make you confident. Your friends won't push you onto the stage. Your boss won't hand you self-esteem. The responsibility is yours, but that's not a burden, it's freedom. Because when you accept that you are in charge, you stop waiting and start acting. And action, even imperfect action, is the birthplace of confidence. So take a breath and say out loud, I am responsible for my confidence. And I am ready to build it. Confidence is not about feeling good all the time. That's a common trap. People think confident people wake up every day feeling like superheroes. No. Confident people have bad days, anxious moments, and crushing self-doubt just like everyone else. The difference is they don't let those feelings stop them. They have learned to feel the fear, acknowledge the doubt, and still take the next step. So stop chasing the feeling of confidence. Chase the action of courage. The feeling will follow. Your brain is wired for survival, not for confidence. Thousands of years ago, if you stood out from the tribe, you could be exiled, and exile meant death. So your brain still sends danger signals when you try to speak up, take a risk, or put yourself out there. That nervousness in your stomach, that's just your ancient brain trying to protect you. Thank it for caring. Then do it anyway. You are not in a jungle anymore. You are in a world where standing out can actually save you. One of the fastest ways to build confidence is to keep small promises to yourself. Every time you say, I'll wake up at 6 a.m. and you do it, your brain registers a win. Every time you say, I'll finish this task by noon and you do it, another win. These tiny deposits into your self-trust account add up. After a few weeks, you start believing that you are someone who follows through. And that belief is the foundation of unshakable confidence. Start today with one tiny promise and keep it. What about situations where you feel completely out of your depth? A new job, a difficult conversation, a public speech. The secret is preparation plus surrender. Prepare as much as you can, research, practice, rehearse. Then surrender the outcome. Tell yourself, I have done what I can. Now I will show up and let go. This combination removes the crushing pressure of needing to be perfect. You are not trying to control the result. You are only controlling your effort. And that is always within your power. Let's talk about posture in motion. Most advice focuses on standing still, shoulders back, head high. But confidence is also how you move. Walk like you have somewhere important to be. Not rushed, but purposeful. Take slightly longer strides. Keep your chin parallel to the ground, not tilted up, arrogant, or down, scared. Swing your arms naturally. This walking style sends signals to everyone around you, and more importantly to your own brain, that you are a person of value. Practice it for 1 week. Your environment is either building your confidence or killing it. Look at your room. Is it messy? Clutter creates subconscious stress. Look at your phone. Are you following people who make you feel inadequate? Unfollow them. Look at your social circle. Do your friends lift you up or tear you down? You don't have to hate them, but you do need to limit time with energy vampires. Confidence thrives in clean, positive, encouraging spaces. Curate your environment like a garden, pull out the weeds, the art of confident listening. Many people think confidence is about talking. Actually, confident people are often the best listeners. They don't interrupt. They don't rush to fill silences. They maintain eye contact and nod slowly. When the other person finishes, they pause for a moment before responding. That pause says, I heard you and I'm thinking about what you said. That is powerful. It shows you are not desperate to prove anything. Try it in your next conversation. You'll feel the shift immediately. Handling mistakes in public. You will mess up. You will say the wrong thing, forget a name, trip on stage. That's not a question of if, but when. The confident response is not to pretend it didn't happen. It's to acknowledge it lightly and move on. Oops, let me rephrase that. Sorry, I just forgot your name. Could you tell me again? Well, that was graceful. And laugh. When you don't make a big deal out of your mistakes, other people won't either. Your reaction sets the tone, confidence and clothing. You don't need expensive brands, but you do need to wear clothes that fit and make you feel put together. When you look good, you feel good. That's not shallow, that's psychology. Take 1 hour to go through your wardrobe. Remove anything that is torn, too tight, too loose, or makes you feel uncomfortable. Keep only the items that make you think, I like this. You don't need many, just a few outfits that feel like armor. Wear them on days when you need an extra boost. The power of a confident no. Saying no is harder than saying yes for most people. We fear disappointing others, missing out, or seeming rude. But every time you say yes when you mean no, you betray yourself. And self-betrayal destroys confidence. Start practicing the polite, firm no. Thanks for the offer, but I can't. I appreciate you asking, but I have to pass. No explanation needed. No justification, just a clear, calm no. Each time you do this, you send a message. My time and energy matter. Stop rehearsing failure. Before a challenging situation, do you play out worst-case scenarios in your head? What if I freeze? What if they laugh? What if I get fired? That's your brain trying to prepare for danger, but it's backfiring. Instead, deliberately rehearse success. Close your eyes and see yourself handling the situation smoothly. See people nodding, smiling, responding well. Do this for 2 minutes. This is not delusion, it's mental rehearsal. Athletes do it, performers do it. Now you will to confidence in writing. Emails, messages, even comments online, your written words reflect your confidence. Avoid over-apologizing, sorry to bother you, over-explaining. I was just wondering if maybe you could possibly. And weak qualifiers, I think, I feel, maybe, perhaps. Write directly. Here is my question. I would like to request. This is my opinion. Of course, be polite, but be clear. Read your message before sending and remove one weak word. Over time, your written voice will become stronger, and so will your inner voice. The 5 people you spend the most time with. There's a famous saying, you are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. If those 5 people are insecure, complaining, and fearful, you will absorb that. If they are courageous, growth-oriented, and supportive, you will rise. Take an honest look. Do you need to spend less time with anyone? Do you need to actively seek out new connections? Join a club, a class, or an online community focused on growth. Surround yourself with fire and you will burn bright, learning from rejection like a scientist. Rejection hurts, that's biological, but you can change your interpretation. After a rejection, wait 24 hours. Then write down 3 things you learned from the experience. Not I'm worthless, that's not a lesson. Real lessons, I need to prepare more. I didn't clearly communicate my value. That opportunity wasn't the right fit. Then write down 1 action you will take differently next time. This transforms rejection from a wound into a teacher. And confident people love teachers, building confidence in your voice. Your voice is a tool. Most people speak from their throat, which sounds weak. Confident people speak from their chest. Put your hand on your chest. Take a breath and say, feel the vibration. Now say hello from that same place. Practice speaking slightly slower than you think you should. Slower speech makes you sound thoughtful and in control. Record yourself reading a paragraph. Listen, adjust. Your voice can change in 2 weeks of daily practice. That's nothing compared to a lifetime of confidence. The as-if principle in action. Act as if you are confident even when you're terrified. This is not fakery, it's a psychological technique called enactment. When you act a certain way, your brain looks at your behavior and updates your self-image accordingly. So stand as if you are confident. Speak as if you are confident. Make eye contact as if you are confident. Within minutes, you will start feeling a shift. Try this right now. Straighten your back, lift your chin slightly, and take 3 deep breaths. Notice how different you feel dealing with the inner critic. Everyone has an inner voice that points out flaws, predicts doom, and compares you to others. You cannot silence it completely, but you can change your relationship with it. Give that voice a silly name, Negative Nancy or Chicken Charlie. When it starts talking, say, thanks for your input, Nancy, but I've got this. This creates distance. You are not your inner critic, you are the one who hears the critic, and you can choose to ignore it. That distance is where your confidence grows, confidence in asking for what you want. A raise, a date, help, a favor. Asking is hard because we fear rejection, but not asking is a guaranteed no. So reframe asking as a gift. You are giving the other person a chance to say yes. If they say no, nothing lost, you were already at no. If they say yes, you win. That's a zero downside game. Practice with small asks first. Can you pass the salt? Could you explain that again? Would you have time for a 5-minute chat? Then work your way up the confidence to be quiet. Sometimes confident people say nothing. They don't feel the need to fill every silence, give an opinion on everything, or prove they are the smartest in the room. Silence can be powerful. It shows you are comfortable with yourself. Next time you're in a group conversation, try staying quiet for 2 minutes longer than usual. Just listen. Nod, smile. You'll notice that people actually respect you more. Because confident silence is rare and rare things are valued, building confidence through physical challenges. Your mind and body are connected. If you never push your body, your mind learns to avoid discomfort. Join a gym, start running, take up yoga, or do home workouts. Pick something that feels slightly hard. Every time you complete a workout when you didn't feel like it, you build mental toughness. Every time you lift a little heavier or run a little longer, you prove to yourself that you can endure. That proof transfers to every area of life. A strong body helps build a strong mind, the confidence to change your mind. Many people stick to wrong opinions or bad decisions because they fear looking inconsistent. That's weak. Confident people say, I used to think X, but now I've learned Y without embarrassment. Changing your mind shows growth, not weakness. So give yourself permission to evolve. If you said something you regret, admit it. If you made a poor choice, correct it. The person who never changes their mind is either a fool or a liar. Be confident enough to say, I was wrong. It's one of the strongest statements you can make. Stop waiting for the right moment. The right moment is a fantasy. There will always be a reason to delay, not enough money, not enough time, not enough courage. Confident people don't wait. They start with what they have, where they are. Want to start a business? Launch with a simple website today. Want to get fit? Do 10 push-ups right now. Want to learn a skill? Watch a free YouTube tutorial. Imperfect action beats perfect inaction every single time. Take one tiny step before you finish reading this passage, confidence and gratitude. It sounds counterintuitive, but grateful people are often more confident. Why? Because gratitude shifts your focus from what you lack to what you have. And when you feel abundant, you feel more capable. Every morning, write down 3 things you're grateful for, including one about yourself. I'm grateful that I showed up today. I'm grateful that I tried something new. I'm grateful for my sense of humor. This simple practice rewires your brain to see your own value. Try it for 10 days. Handling the spotlight. When all eyes are on you, a presentation, a performance, a toast, anxiety spikes. The trick is to redirect your focus. Instead of thinking they are judging me, think I am here to serve them. Your job is to give value, not to be perfect. Shift your attention to your message, your audience, your purpose. When you focus on service, self-consciousness fades. Try this before your next spotlight moment. Take 3 breaths and say, I am here to help. It changes everything. The confidence to be beginner. Nobody starts as an expert. Every confident person was once clumsy, clueless, and awkward. The difference is they were willing to be bad before they became good. So give yourself permission to be a beginner. Say, I'm learning instead of I can't. Say, this is my first time instead of pretending you know. When you drop the need to look competent, you free yourself to actually become competent. And that journey, from beginner to capable, is where real confidence is forged. Confidence in conflict. Avoiding difficult conversations erodes confidence because you know you're being a coward. But confronting poorly can damage relationships. The middle path is assertive communication. Use I statements. I feel frustrated when meetings start late. State facts, not accusations. Ask for what you want clearly. Can we please start on time from tomorrow? Stay calm. Don't raise your voice. If the other person gets angry, you don't have to match their energy. You can say, let's continue this when we're both calm. That's confidence, building a confidence library. Read books, listen to podcasts, watch videos about confidence, courage, and mindset. But don't just consume, apply. After each book, write down 1 action you will take. After each podcast, try 1 technique. Knowledge without action is entertainment, not growth. Create a small notebook where you collect your favorite confidence tips. Review it every Sunday. Over time, you'll have a personalized manual for becoming stronger. And the act of building that library itself reinforces your identity as someone who invests in themselves. The role of sleep in confidence. When you're tired, everything feels harder. Your patience thins, your fears magnify, and your willpower drops. You are not your best self on 5 hours of sleep. So prioritize rest. Set a bedtime. Put your phone away an hour before sleep. Create a dark, cool room. Most confident people are well rested because they know that a tired brain is a fearful brain. Treat sleep as non-negotiable. Your confidence will thank you, confidence to walk away. Sometimes the most confident thing you can do is leave a toxic job, a draining friendship, a dead-end relationship. Staying because you're afraid of change is not loyalty, it's fear. Walking away requires immense self-respect. It says, I deserve better. Of course, don't make impulsive decisions. Plan your exit, but if something consistently makes you feel small, start preparing to leave. The act of choosing yourself is one of the greatest confidence builders you will ever experience. The 80% rule for overthinkers. Many people with low confidence overthink because they want to be 100% sure before acting. That's impossible. So set a lower threshold, 80%. If you have 80% of the information, 80% of the preparation, 80% of the courage, take action. The remaining 20% you will figure out on the way. Confident people are not more certain than you. They are just more comfortable with uncertainty. Practice being okay with 80%. Your speed of action will increase dramatically, confidence in your own story. You have a unique life. You have faced struggles, learned lessons, and developed perspectives that no one else has. That is your power. Stop wishing you were someone else. Start owning your story, the good, the bad, the embarrassing. When you accept your past, you stop wasting energy on shame. That freed up energy becomes confidence. Write down one thing from your past that you're proud of overcoming. Read it aloud. Feel the strength in that memory. That strength is still inside you, small daily rituals. Confidence is not built in grand gestures. It's built in small, consistent actions. Make your bed every morning. That's a win before 7 a.m. Write a to-do list the night before. That's clarity. Exercise for 10 minutes. That's discipline. Meditate for 5 minutes. That's calm. These tiny rituals create a foundation of self-mastery. And when you master your mornings, you master your days. When you master your days, you master your life. Start with one ritual today. Add another next week, handling unsolicited advice. People will tell you what to do, how to live, what to change. Some of it is helpful, much of it is noise. Confident people listen politely, then decide for themselves. They don't get defensive. They don't feel obligated to follow. They say thank you for sharing and move on. You are the expert on your own life. No one else has walked in your shoes, so take what serves you and leave the rest without guilt. That's not arrogance, that's self-trust, the confidence to laugh at yourself. When you take yourself too seriously, every small mistake feels like a disaster. But when you can laugh at your own clumsiness, forgetfulness, or awkwardness, you disarm shame. Try it. Next time you trip, say smooth and laugh. Next time you say something silly, say, well, that was brilliant, with a smile. Self-deprecation, when done lightly, not cruelly, shows that you are secure enough to not need perfection. That security is magnetic. People trust people who don't crumble over small things. Stop hiding your ambition. Many people downplay their dreams because they're afraid of judgment. Oh, it's nothing. I'm just trying something. It probably won't work. That's fear talking. Confident people own their ambition. They say, I am building a business. I am training for a marathon. I am writing a book. Even if it's not yet successful, they claim it. Speaking your goals aloud makes them real. It also invites support and accountability. So next time someone asks what you're up to, tell the truth. You'll feel a surge of power, confidence in learning mode. There will always be things you don't know. Confident people are not threatened by ignorance. They say, I don't know, but I can find out. They ask questions without embarrassment. They admit when they're confused. This is not weakness, it's wisdom. Pretending to know everything makes you rigid and fearful. Being curious makes you flexible and fearless. So adopt the mantra, I am a lifelong learner. Every unknown is just an opportunity to grow. That mindset turns uncertainty into excitement, the power of a confident handshake. In professional and social settings, a handshake is often the first physical contact. A limp, brief, or sweaty handshake signals low confidence. A firm, dry, 2-second handshake with eye contact signals strength. Practice with friends. Squeeze with medium pressure, not bone-crushing, not dead fish. Maintain eye contact and smile slightly. Release after 2 pumps. This small skill can change first impressions dramatically. And when you know you have a good handshake, you approach meetings with a little more swagger, confidence, and money. Financial insecurity is a massive confidence killer. When you're worried about bills, every risk feels scarier. So part of building confidence is building financial competence. Create a budget. Start an emergency fund, even if it's $5 a week. Learn basic investing. Increase your skills to increase your income. This is not about being rich, it's about having a cushion. Knowing you have 3 months of expenses saved gives you the freedom to say no to bad jobs, take career risks, and walk away from toxic situations. That's real confidence. The confidence to rest. Yes, rest. Many insecure people are workaholics because staying busy distracts them from their fears, but constant busyness burns you out. Confident people know that rest is productive. They take days off without guilt. They nap. They take vacations. Because they trust that the world won't fall apart without them, and they know that a rested mind makes better decisions. So if you feel guilty when you're not working, examine that. Rest is not laziness. Rest is maintenance. And maintenance builds longevity. The comparison trap, advanced level. You already know comparison is bad, but here's a deeper truth. You usually compare your worst to someone else's best. You compare your behind-the-scenes struggles to their curated highlights. That's not a fair fight, so when you catch yourself comparing, ask, am I comparing apples to oranges? Usually yes. Then ask, what can I learn from this person instead of envying them? Admiration is more useful than jealousy. Learn one thing from them, apply it. Then get back to your own race. The only person you need to be better than is who you were yesterday. Confidence in asking for help. Some people think asking for help is a sign of weakness. Actually, it's a sign of self-awareness and strength. You cannot know everything. You cannot do everything alone. Confident people build teams, hire coaches, ask mentors, and lean on friends. They are not afraid to say, can you help me with this? The key is to ask specifically and respectfully. Could you spare 15 minutes to review this? Would you teach me how to do X? Asking for help speeds up your growth. And growth builds confidence. The 1-year test. Whenever you're scared to take a step, ask yourself, will this matter in 1 year? If you give a bad presentation, will anyone remember in a year? Probably not. If you get rejected, will you still feel the pain in a year? Unlikely. But if you don't try, will you regret it in a year? Very likely. Regret is heavier than failure, so take the step. The 1-year perspective shrinks fear. Most things that feel huge today will be tiny tomorrow. Remember that. Act accordingly. Confidence and forgiveness. Holding onto grudges against others or yourself keeps you stuck in the past. That past version of you made mistakes. Forgive them. That person who hurt you, forgive them, not for their sake but for yours. Forgiveness releases the emotional weight that drags down your confidence. Write a forgiveness letter. You don't have to send it. Say, I release this. I am moving forward. Every time you forgive, you free up energy to build the future. And a person focused on the future is a confident person. The confidence to be different. You don't have to follow the crowd. Confident people have their own tastes, opinions, and values. They don't need to wear what everyone wears, like what everyone likes, or believe what everyone believes. That doesn't mean being contrarian for attention. It means being authentic. If you genuinely love something unpopular, own it. If you disagree with the majority, state your view respectfully. Standing alone takes courage. But that courage, once practiced, becomes a deep well of confidence, because you learn that your worth does not depend on approval, building confidence through teaching. One of the fastest ways to solidify your own confidence is to teach someone else. You don't have to be an expert. You just need to know 10% more than the person you're helping. Teach a friend a skill. Mentor a junior colleague. Explain a concept to a family member. When you teach, you realize how much you actually know. You also get the reward of helping someone. That combination, competence plus contribution, is a confidence powerhouse. Find one person to teach this week, the confidence to be bored. In our distraction-filled world, many people never sit with their own thoughts. They scroll, stream, and swipe to avoid silence. But silence is where you hear your inner voice. And your inner voice, when listened to, becomes a guide. So practice doing nothing for 5 minutes a day. No phone, no book, no music. Just sit. Breathe, let thoughts come and go. This builds comfort with yourself. And comfort with yourself is the definition of confidence. Start with 2 minutes. Work up to 10. Confidence in the face of criticism. Not all criticism is equal. Some is constructive, some is destructive. Constructive criticism points to specific behaviors and offers solutions. Destructive criticism attacks your character, you're lazy, you're stupid, or is vague, this is bad. For destructive criticism, develop a mental shield. Say to yourself, this says more about them than about me. Then discard it. For constructive criticism, say, thank you, I'll consider that. Then genuinely consider it. The confident person doesn't fear criticism, they filter it, the snowball effect of small wins. Remember the small wins we talked about earlier. They compound. One small win gives you a tiny boost. That boost helps you attempt a slightly bigger win. That win gives a bigger boost. Within months, you're attempting things that would have paralyzed you before. Keep a log of your wins, every single one. On days when you feel low, read the log backwards. See how far you've come. That evidence is undeniable. You are not stuck. You are in motion, and motion is momentum. Momentum is confidence.